All right. We are totally not going to have audio problems today. Hey guys, so I actually did film something way at the end of Invictus last week, and we had no audio for people. That was great. And we couldn't do a reschedule. So we decided, you know what? Time has passed. Invictus is done. So we're just going to go ahead, and we just decided to wait for the Ironclad Q&A. And I didn't realize it was going to get delayed by an entire week. But I guess they were pretty busy with point 1A and all that. But today we have Ghost. Say hello.
Yo.
Yep. So this is actually a ship that we're both kind of excited for. I, for one, I've been just waiting on what they're going to say about the assault version versus the cargo version, because they left out some key details in their marketing visuals when they first released this, and a lot of people are on the fence on which one to get for their uses. So let's go ahead and let's just go through it. So Ghost, what's your actually before we go, what was your first impressions of this ship when they first unveiled it back in Invictus?
I was very interested in it, and when I saw that they were doing a cargo, I was hoping that they'd do a military, and when I read further saying that they were, I was really happy because I know some people that we know were gonna go for that in their fleet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's some things like the bridge, or not the bridge, the observation deck looking into the cargo bay. I thought was a nice feature. It allows you to be on top of everything when it comes to either repairing or loading or unloading.
Oh heck yeah.
The brig up front being secure, I liked, and then I'm still not that big of a fan, but the bridge being on the side is kind of cool, and then I really like the bridge being able to jettison itself from the actual ship for safety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there are actually a couple of details that did appear in this Q&A that really gives this particular ship and the rest of some of the other ships in the Drake family some extra little functions and features as well. But let's go over it really quick. So let's go over the first question. So what ships are the main competitors of Ironclad and Ironclad Assault? For example, how does it compare with the Crusader Hercules, as it seems better in every aspect? So what CIG responded with was, the Anvil, Liberator, and the Crusader Hercules are the Ironclad's closest competitors. The Liberator is a dedicated vehicle transport, so naturally excels at that, though its cargo remains relatively exposed. The C2 and M2 Hercules are the closest on paper competitors, providing enclosed cargo capacity and the option of multiple turrets. However, the Ironclad Assault beats the latter, while the base Ironclad beats the former in cargo capacity. So they were already up front telling us, yeah, this pretty much beats, overshadows a lot of the C2 and the M2 that we have in game right now. And it does confirm one aspect of this versus the Liberator. So when we were doing the eyeballing of the Liberator versus the Ironclad on Hangar.link, the Star Jump preview, yeah, we were right. The Liberator is much better at vehicle transport, but the vehicles are exposed. Yeah. So use cases in that sense. So Liberator, and I think you yourself has said that the Liberator is more for a drop assault ship, correct?
Yeah, I've linked it to D-Day in real life.
Mm-hmm. But now we have the new guy in town. So You think more people are going to find more uses for this for ground assaults, and base of operations, or this will still, do you think, needs to be like a common drop and go sort of ship?
Definitely be like I think it's gonna be like a drop and go kind of ship, or a evac ship, more than a landing ship. Especially with all the turrets there, to help cover fire.
Oh yeah, definitely. All right. So, and that brings us to the next question. Can the Ironclad be used as a mini carrier, and what is the biggest ship that could fit through the retractable roof? It can. However, the cargo bay is designed for cargo metrics, so it doesn't conform to standardized hangar dimensions, with the maximum dimensions being 40 by 21 by 7.5 meters. Bear in mind the roof does not retract over the full volume, limiting the maximum length. Of course, this may change during production. So, this confirms the roof retracts. This is what everyone was wondering up until now. Can the assault version retract? Actually, the second question actually answers that. So we'll just put these two together. So the main difference, of course, is that the cargo version has the tractor beam turrets, and the assault gives those utility mounts off and have more firepower and turrets. So now 7.5 meters tall. That is actually the biggest limiting factor, I think, for what people are going to use this as a carrier. So 7.5 meters is pretty much like the Terrapin, and anything smaller than that. So many of the heavy fighters are now out of the running, and its own Cutlass Black won't be able to fit in there too, because I think the Cutlass Black is what, 10 meters tall. So it's definitely gonna, if this is going to be a carrier, it's probably going to be a pocket carrier. If you want a full-on carrier without that limitation, you probably want to do the Anvil Liberator if possible. So, yeah. So a lot of people are going to probably be disappointed by that. But they say it is subject to change. So we'll see. Yeah, but like I'm already know exactly what ships I want to fit in here. Probably going to be fitting my Firebird and the MPUV. I am a little sad though. I can't fit the Vulture. Yeah. Because I think the Vulture is, I think, 10 meters tall as well. All right. But this makes it a very good base of operations, especially if the command module just leaves it. You could just drop this, put this on the ground, and just be this as like an like a temporary operating base, and then you can come back and pick it up, or just scrap it. So yeah. All right. Now with either versions have strong VTOL thrusters to assist atmospheric flight. Both versions have identical thruster layouts, including integrated VTOL thrusters underneath. Well, that let me see here. It doesn't answer the question if it's going to be strong VTOLs, though.
It really didn't.
It's just, we do have VTOLs. Okay. Cool. So how long am I going to hover? So how long we're going to stay up in the air before we go, we're getting a little heavy. Time to go.
That's for us to know and you to find out.
Yeah, because they did talk about these VTOL thrusters eventually can overheat and burn up for non-atmospheric ships. But for a ship like this, like a drop ship that's coming in and supporting the ground and dropping ground vehicles, I really do hope it does have powerful VTOLs, because a lot of the ships in the Drake lineup, like the Cutter, the Cutlass, all have very large VTOL thrusters. for their ship sizes. So hopefully this guy, as gigantic as it is, can take it. All right. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, it would be right, just like you said. It'll be an in and out ship at that point. All right, is there an armory in the Assault? An armory isn't shown in the Assault cutaway, but during production, we'll be looking for the best place for one, likely in the front center area where the secure storage is on the base Ironclad. So they are getting rid of that secure storage area, potentially for an armory. I don't know about that, actually. If that's the case, like, so let's go over here for a second. If that's the case, that's a lot of running to get to the front, to get to your armory.
Yeah.
Hold on. Do they have a, let me see here. Do they have a breakdown of it somewhere? No? Interior, here we go. Here we go. So, yeah, if they're putting the armory up, oh, you know what? Okay, I can see why. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. So the operator crews won't have access to it. So the guys in the back, but the people in the drop seats and in the manning the turrets will have access to the armory. All right, that makes a little bit more sense. So I guess, yeah, we'll just have like a defense crew, and then we have the flight crew. So I'm starting to think that this ship's gonna require more than 6 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving on here. So the Ironclad Assault has a repair bay as an installed feature. Is this bay going to be able to repair more than just vehicles? For example, could it repair ship components as well? Yes. Repair facilities are not restricted by type, but more by volume and resources. We'll discuss repair and crafting in more detail in the future, as it's a topic more expansive than this Q&A. Fair enough, as you guys have a very basic fabrication crafting system on certain ships right now, so yeah, we would like to see more of this, but that's actually pretty cool though. So that ties into this ship being like a great like temporary operating base for ground assaults, as well as like a command, as like possibly even a command center, to have your ships come back and repair, rearm, and get back in the fight. So, ooh, that kind of digs into another ship that does that. Well, not really. It can do a little bit more. So that actually digs into what the Vulcan, the Aegis Vulcan, does. But the main difference, of course, the Vulcan is more of a ship that goes out to disabled ships and rearm them in the fight or on the battlefield, whereas this one you have to return to it, I guess. So I guess that's the main difference there. Okay, cool. How will the self-destruction feature work in the Ironclad? Can I initiate self-destruction in the command module and detach to fly away, or will the command module also be self-destruction mode? There are 2 independent self-destruction systems, one in the command module and one in the main hull. Setting it off in the command module will self-destruct both if attached, while the main hull of the base ship can be triggered from the control room. This I find doesn't make sense. I feel like so if you triggered the self-destruction in the command module, I feel like you should have the ability to just trigger the self-destruction separately, because you are the command module. It's not like you can, I mean, I'm sure you can tie a Wi-Fi antenna from command to the main and trigger it. But I guess this is in today's context, I guess. Yeah. But let me see. So the command module and the main hull, control room. So I'm guessing that's the control room is the big overlooking like deck area over there. All right, is command module shared between Ironclad and the Caterpillar? Command module is compatible between the Ironclad and the Caterpillar. However, the Ironclad's module is a slight redesign of the original Caterpillar one, but retains a lot of features. That's actually really cool. So this is what I meant when the command module, the fact that it can attach to other Drake ships that are compatible with it, gives that little command module so much modularity on its own to just be able to swap between and grab, different ship hulls and take it with you. So if you need to downsize, you can get the Caterpillar hull, and if you need to bring all the boys up into space, you attach yourself to the Ironclad. That's actually a really interesting feature, and I'm glad they confirmed it, because a lot of people were asking, can you do that? Now the main question is, can the Caterpillar one attach to the Ironclad one? That's actually not answered. So yeah. But the thing is, like, I think me and you, we never really used the Caterpillar, have we?
Yeah, I've never.
Yeah. Now I only know. Yeah, I've only blown them up, but from what I understand, though, the Caterpillar they still said that the Caterpillar modules for each of those segments is still on the table. So we'll see how much like utility we can get out of the Caterpillar versus this, because I can already see a lot of people just burning away their Caterpillars and their M2s for this ship already. All right. Next, if you detach the command module, does the Ironclad become a flying brick, or can you still steer it from the ship itself? The Ironclad is exclusively flown from the command module. With it detached, the main hull can no longer fly independently. However, it retains power, cooling, and other functionality like tractor beam, control, and self-defense. Perfect. Yeah, as I said, you can just drop it on a planet and just leave it there as a operations base while you go do something else. Perfect. All right. Although that is kind of sad, though, the fact that you can't fly the ship from the control deck, which, yeah, kind of sucks. So.
I mean, it's kind of fair.
Yeah. How insurance handled detaching of the command module and loss of the main ship? We're currently working on how insurance will work with the Ironclad. We'll talk more on this subject closer to the ship's flyable release. Fair enough. Flyable release. So 5 years from now. We'll give it 3.
Yes.
Will the command module have a quantum drive? This is already answered, I feel. Oh well. Yes, there is a quantum drive aboard the command module to facilitate independent quantum drive travel. Honestly, like, if people actually download the PDF, it actually tells you, I believe, that the command module has a quantum drive, so I feel like this was a wasted question here.
Yeah, but there's always those people, me included, that won't do that.
Yeah. Alright, is the ship's, air quotes, heavy armor actually heavy? How is it represented in game as armor isn't a thing yet in the mechanics? Relative to other ships of its size class, it is heavily armored, and that implementation will be appropriate to the mechanics in place at the time of launch. So, extra thick duct tape. Got it. Actually, you know what? This thing does look like a much more heavier, like thicker brick than what we find with the Corsair and the Cutlass. So, okay, maybe duct tape with aluminum foil.
And Gorilla Glue.
Yeah, and some Gorilla Glue. Alright. Is the interior turret a tractor beam or defense turret? The interior turret is at the rear of the cargo bay is a defense turret. I wonder if it's automated. You just, like, have it go, intruder, zap. Yeah. But that's a nice touch, though. That's actually, I think this is the first ever internal defense turret.
Where's the internal turret?
So the internal turret actually. So if you go, I don't know if you see my screen here. Let me just how do you zoom in again? Is it Control Plus?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Right here, the internal turret will be like I think right above that little railing up here. Yeah. So if it's under the command module, which I don't think so, then the retractable roof has to be open. But in this case, I think it should be inside. So if anyone sneaks aboard, there's only two entryways: the front and the retractable roof. So that turret will say, "Hey, there's coming someone flying in, but just zap them." Yeah. Whereas this guy here, you can go in from the front and the back. Oh. Although, to be fair though, with it open like that, the turrets on the chin and the back can cover the ramps at least. So, I guess that's sort of that's a plus there. Alright. Does the Assault have tractor beams? They're listed for the base, but not for the Assault. Again, I feel like they already answered this, but alright. No, the Assault trades all its tractor beams for more firepower. If you still wish to tractor beam around or onboard the Assault, you should bring either FPS tractor items and or tractor capable ships. So that would be the MPUV-T, the new MPUV tractor beam ship. So yeah, there's that. Alright. How will gravity in the cargo bay be handled? Will this fatter nice. Have an air shield over the top like the Caterpillar has at the front? For example, if someone is EVAing near the top of the ship to help load cargo, it seems like a great way to fall inside the ship and get a tier 2 broken leg injury. Sounds like a Drake design feature. There is no air shield at the top of the cargo bay. Once open, it vents to the void of space, and care must be taken in the scenarios listed. You know, I just thought of something. You get people that like there are people that are just sneaking in, and then when they get deep enough, you close the back ramp door. So you close the front ramp door, you open the retractable door and space, and they just start floating up.
Oh jeez.
It's like, you want it? Well, have it in space. Alright, disclaimer. These answers accurately reflect development intentions at the time of writing, but the company and development team reserve the right to adapt, improve, or change features, ship designs in response to feedback, playtesting, design revisions, or other consideration to improve the balance or the quality of the game overall. So, I mentioned this before, and this was in a video that no one could hear us. This is one of the first ships they released and designed with the new cargo refactor in mind. So they definitely took a lot of things that we were doing in the game right now and put into this design, and I think it excelled at all the opportunities there. I think this will be people's like alternative flying base, with the fact that you can repair ships, fabricate parts, plenty of space to load in like alternative ships and cargo, such as medical vehicles, and like act as a personal garage for your Firebird or your light ship. And yeah, I think this is going to be a very, very compelling ship, even for solo players who just want a base of operation. Not recommended for solo, but I'd say this is like a small group, or like not small, like a medium group or small org ship, like the Polaris. So I think this is actually a really good ship. And now I don't really encourage people to spend money on the game unless you really want to help with the progress of this game. Um, but $400 War Bond is equivalent to the C2 or 465, which makes it around where the just above the M2. Um, Honestly, I see no point in getting the Hercules anymore at this rate with the way things are. How about you, man? Like, if you had, I guess, $500 to spend, what would you be picking out of its competitors right now?
Ironclad. This is definitely the Ironclad.
Yeah.
Hercules is too big of a target. Not enough defenses to cover said, size of target. There's no point in having this.
Yeah.
I think Hercules is like. Personally, I think it is completely outdated. Like, new ships will just take over. Like, yeah, C2, M2 certainly may have the cargo space, but the security isn't there to risk transporting said cargo.
Yeah. I mean, Crusader is supposed to be like the sort of like philanthropists, like humanitarian ship manufacturers. The one thing I will say that the C2 and the M2 have over the Ironclad is probably its ability, its speed and acceleration. I don't see the Ironclad being a very speedy, speedy ship, although the giant thrusters in back may say otherwise. Whereas the M2 can definitely probably exit atmosphere maybe probably a little faster. But you're right, yeah. Like it just seems like the C2 and the M2 are now completely outdated in terms of design, and and we still and we're seeing a lot of ships getting overshadowed now from the past, and we saw the Mark One Hornets get sunsetted. So we'll see. Hopefully, they do something to balance it out. Hopefully, these Hercules like ships do have a place still. But right now, everything that Drake is doing right now, I mean, I'm usually not a Drake ship guy, but I'm sold. I mean, I'm definitely probably gonna get an assault. So, um, yeah, it just seems like a great little base of operations ship. So, I think pair this with the Galaxy, I think you have a great a great combination of large ships. All right then. Well, I think that's it then. Do you have any last minute like notes or suggestions here before we end today?
No.
Alrighty then.
Can't wait to see this ship.
Oh yeah. All right then. Well, guys, that was it. Thanks for joining in on this quick little Q&A session. The fleet update video I'll be posting probably in mid-June. So next week. Things got really busy for me, and I hope to show you guys what I've done so far with. Actually, you know what? No. I want to see what they have for Alien Week. If they add something Alien Week that I like, then I'll go ahead and throw those into the fleet update. If there's nothing in Alien Week that I am interested in, I'll probably just post my video right in the middle of Alien Week. Alrighty then, guys. Well, this is Warbotniks. And then that's Ghost.
Yeet.
All right. Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Bye now.